Me, 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 me. You. Hello. Hello once again, audience. Welcome to Resident Evil Village. Or welcome back, I should say. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's time to marry us a sexy vampire lady. Anyway, but before we get started, let's take a little walk down memory lane because Danny got the special edition, so it comes with oodles and oodles of secrets. Uh, we'll definitely do the movie where it's like remembering Resident Evil 7. So let's do a recap for those who were just joining
Okay.
in.
Where to start? My name? It's Ethan. Ethan Winters.
That's us.
It's been 3 years since everything happened at the Baker house. I was looking for my wife, who disappeared.
My
I got an
wife?
email from her. She told me to come get her. And of course, that's how I ended up in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana.
Because that's where nowhere is. You ever been to
I
Louisiana?
found Mia being held captive in a dark basement.
Yes. Dark. Dark basement.
She wasn't thinking right.
No, she wasn't.
She attacked me like some kind of wild animal.
Yeah, she did. She put a knife through me. She
Later
cut
on,
off
I
my
found out that
hand.
she was infected by a special kind of mold. I looked all over the house trying to find an antidote.
Yeah, we did.
Vaccine, anything.
I got attacked.
People who lived there were already infected.
Yeah, they were.
What was left of them wasn't human.
No, it was not.
The source of the infection was a bioweapon that looked like a little girl.
The demon child. Ah, yes. I'm
was
familiar.
I fought the fucked up family and was able to treat Mia's symptoms with a
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Then Chris Redfield and his soldier buddies showed up and saved the both of us.
I'm so excited for this game, guys. I can't begin to imagine.
Is that enough? I really
I can't
don't wanna
begin
talk
to
about
imagine what
happening.
we're in store for. People have been saying this game is only 8 hours, so we might
all
be able
over
to beat
now.
it this weekend. Definitely gonna be playing it all night. All night long. All night. Alright, let's take a look at some concept art. Yes. Ah, so here's what Ethan looks like. Here's Mia. Here's Andrew. Andre. Manuel. Peter. So those are the guys from the from the 7th game. And they were the ones that, like, did the one show. So here's Mia. Alan Douglas, I forget who that is. Here's the cop, the dog. I don't remember there being a dog. There's Evelyn, there's the molded, there's Chris Redfield, Marguerite, Annabelle, Kevin. I don't remember a lot of these people. Okay. There's more like detailed of Ethan and what he really looks like. Um, Here's the Baker family. Let's see. Kind of glad most of this did not end up in the game. That would have been terrifying. Let's see. Yeah. Let's see. More concept art. This is really interesting. I do like this. I'm glad I got this. Okay, so here's the model for what Evelyn Evelyn like actually was when her final form, like her mutation took full effect. Here's like concept art for I guess Marguerite when she I think that's Jack. Yeah. That's like when you're fighting Jack in the boathouse. Okay, here's some more concept art. I guess that was the fight with Jack. Here's like all the different kids. Yeah, here's like when Marguerite was attacking you. Here's like the final, what would become the molded. And then, let's see. Yeah, there's the molded. There's like the jumper molded. That's even scarier up close. There's the fat boys that puke on you. Oh, that's what my students were talking about today. Oh, this is like some... Oh, C to change art, so I don't have to keep... Okay. So, it looks like this was some kind of like... where the molded were being created, some kind of like vat or whatnot. So that's kind of interesting. I don't think we got to see this. This might be like another alternative for Marguerite, or maybe something that didn't end up. Here's the bugs. Here's the Baker house. I guess the original concept. Here's the dinner table that we saw. Yeah, here's just more of the house and like... Okay. So this is all from like Resident Evil 7, which is really cool. And like to go back and like see this, is pretty cool. All of that. Yeah. A lot of this kind of reminds me, like the layout of this concept art kind of reminds me of some of the stuff we've seen in Little Nightmares 2. Okay. Here's like that basement where we were... Okay, there's Mia coming up the stairs. Here's the, like... I think this is like the final version of the house, or what would... Yeah, it's like slowly coming together. There's the thing we saw in like the very beginning of the game. Here's Ethan actually going in the house. Let's see. Here's like the dinner table with the dinner scene. This is really interesting. Here's the garage that like we get the car out of, and that, or this is the garage where you fight Jack. Here's like the main hall. The Baker house is actually pretty huge. It's like the outside. Here's Jack like running around. Concept for the shadow puzzle. Another concept for the shadow puzzle. Another concept for the shadow puzzle. So here's a concept for all the different like keys. And like all the different puzzles. Here's the outside area. Here's like Zoe's room. Here's like the... like kind of like the boathouse area where you fight Marguerite for the first time, and then like also when you get the flamethrower. Yeah, here's that bridge that had all the baby doll heads. Here's like inside with all the bug nests. There's Marguerite. More boathouse. More boathouse. There's Marguerite actually like attacking you. This is Zoe's room. Or the child's room. Yeah, I remember this. Yep, and there's, like, Zoe when she attacks you. This is Lucas's area. Yeah. All the trip mines. All the, like, different things. So, a lot of concept for all the, like, traps and stuff that Lucas put you through. So, this is pretty interesting. And then, I think this is going into, like, the... whatchamacallit. Hang on, I'm expecting food. Burn your order. DoorDash will let you know when your dasher is on the way. Okay. So, this was a concept that didn't make it into the game. This is like Big Jack, where he attacks you on the boat. Here's the actual boat. Like waking up, going through the boat, all the mold. That's where I think you find Ethan. Then here's a concept of the backpack. Here's like the comp of Mia. Early plans, mysterious masked person. Oh, so they had plans to bring Ada back. That's interesting. Rough draft or early design of... Okay, so this is the vampire lady. Oh, so now we're getting into concept art for the new game. Okay. Okay. Okay, this is interesting. Hang on, I want to see something. Okay. So, I don't know if I want to go through the concept art, though, of the new game, though. Okay, so they had plans for Ada to show up. And then, this is concept art for the new game. Okay. Interesting. There's the design for the Baron. There's, like, the Baron's wagon. Some weird, like, lamp. More stuff. The typewriter. Some, like, storage chest. That we saw in the demo. So, that was the thing that we needed something, but we didn't have. So, it looks like that we're going to be seeing a lot of these things. Okay, so this kind of gives me a rough idea of what we're going to be getting into. Okay. 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 So this is like storyboard. It's in... I don't speak, I think this is... I'm pretty sure this is Japanese characters. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it would make sense, but... Also, I mean, I'm not... Okay, this is interesting. Okay, so here's the concept of the house. Okay, some flying enemies. Okay. Here's the gate we saw. Okay. But this is all very interesting. Let's see. Okay, some more lichens. Some, like, kind of weapon type. Oh, these are lichen weapons. Okay. So, this is like... Okay. Okay. There's gonna be some, like, tech stuff. What is this? I think I just spoiled the game. Whoops. I just read that and I was like, uh-oh. I hope that's not... I'm gonna be super mad at myself. I shouldn't have looked at it. I shouldn't have looked at the concept art. I have nobody to blame but myself. Oh. My dasher's on the way. Hang on 1 second. I need to look at something. Okay, my dasher's on the way, so we might not get to the actual game, yet. I'll eat and then we'll come back eventually. Okay, Baker Incident Report. Report depicts my investigation into the events after the incident of Baker's residence. Baker Incident, July 2017. A number of people lost their lives at the residency in the middle of American countryside. It was truly horrifying tragedy. They still don't know the exact number of the victims. 2 survivors, husband, wife, Ethan, and Mia Winters, were able to shed some light on the events which would have shook the world. But there was a cover-up, and the Winters vanished. There's someone or something powerful acting behind the scenes. I just know it. I decided to investigate, to follow the breadcrumbs. What happened after? How can I be sure? Because someone who was there. First of all, how would the incident be reported on if it was discovered by the world? Let's take a look at some newspaper clippings from the time I see the news was manipulated. Discovery of the incident. Local paper, Dudley Daily, July 22nd. In 2017, family of four found dead in Dovey. Dovey County Sheriff officer reported that the Baker family. Wait, hang on. Let me get into the mood real quick. Where's my dasher at?
Dudley County Sheriff officer had reported that the Baker family were found dead in their homes in North Dovey on the 21st of July. The surrounding details are currently unknown apart from the deaths of Jack Baker, his wife Marguerite, their son Lucas, and daughter Zoe. Deputy Sheriff Dave Anderson has also been missing since the 19th, according to Deputy Sheriff Riley Whiteford, who visited the Baker's residence around the time of the disappearance. Social media post, July 22nd, 2017. That thing with the dead family, wasn't that where the giant black monster was? You think they were eaten by that thing? No way. It's some cheesy horror movie. Old man Jack did say the crazy stuff. I remember him getting into a lot of fights. He probably killed the whole family, then offed himself. So Jack is gone.
So Jack is gone. So Jack was the uncle of Zoe, and he showed up in one of the DLCs. Okay.
Transcription of a complaint of the county sheriff's office. I don't believe it. It's been 2 days already. You haven't reported anything. Was it murder, an accident, suicide? And what's with the National Guard sealing off the place? What are y'all hiding? Very little was reported shortly after the Baker incident was discovered, leading to rapid spread of rumors and speculation. The Bakers were completely isolated from the rest of the community, and sealing off the entire area around their home set things in motion. I recall there sure was a lot of public press on the press for information. I admit at the time I was being held in quarantine by a certain organization. Couldn't see any of the news for myself. They finally allowed me to watch TV after a few days, and I was flabbergasted by the stark difference between reports and reality. 2. The cover-up. Local newspaper, Dudley Daily, July 30th, 2017. Sheriff officers say Baker family killed by natural gas. In a follow-up to the deaths of the Baker family on July 21st, Dudley County Sheriff Office stated, it's highly likely that the deaths were caused by a hydrogen sulfide leak. The local area is surrounded by wetlands, which combined with a concentrated of pollution could have led to a buildup. The toxic gas that had claimed lives of the Baker family. The leak has been blocked. However, the authorities have sealed off the area in order to prevent any further accidents. Victims were deceased Jack Baker, Marguerite Baker, Lucas Baker, Zoe Baker, Dave Anderson, Clancy Jarvis, Andre Sticklin, Peter Walken, injured Ethan Winters, Mia Winters. Social media post, July 30th, 2017. Toxic hydrogens, sulfide gas. They're kidding, right? I heard there were soldiers, tanks, helicopters, the whole shebang. When it happened, the government's up to something for sure. And there come the conspiracy theories, a bunch of nut jobs. Like you came out of the woodwork during Raccoon City Incident 2. But there was a black monster. That satellite photo of the shipwreck. You have to admit something's fishy.
Okay, so people have covered up the Raccoon City thing too, and we know for a fact that Umbrella caused the Raccoon City incident to begin with. Now, Umbrella doesn't have anything to do with what's going on now, but it's interesting that they've covered this up as well. So there is somebody pulling the strings. Either it's Umbrella, the government, or some other organization. Alright, back to reading.
Magazine Inspector. An interview with Sally Baldwin, Professor of Geological Studies, Sciences at Leiden University. Interviewer. So, you don't agree with the report from the sheriff's office that it was a natural gas leak? Baldwin. We can't rule out it completely, but it's very unusual, all things considered. Hydrogen sulfide builds up in the area where there is a lot of volcanic activity. The town of Dooley, however, has no volcanic activity anywhere in the area. My own geological survey in 1998 revealed absolutely no hydrogen sulfide in the area. A tragic natural gas leak? That was the official stance on the Baker incident. But this is a complete fabrication. Nothing about the murderers in that house, nothing about the terrifying monsters that stalked the halls and lived within the walls. It's evident that someone was keeping the truth hidden. The thing that surprised me the most was the fact that my name was on the list of victims.
Ooh? So who's this reporting on it? Was it... Wait, is this Ethan? Or is this somebody else?
Organization still had me in quarantine. I was terrified the whole thing would come to an end, with me actually being amongst the deceased. Thankfully, it was a needless fear. The organization gave me a new identity and let me go. I guess they figured I was harmless. It didn't know anything else. I was allowed to live as a new person, apparently for my own safety. I tried to contact the other two survivors, Ethan and Mia. They saved my life. After all, I wanted to at least thank them. But they'd completely disappeared. I know the organization knows where they are, so I decided to investigate the BSAA. The BSAA, Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, a counter-bioterrorism organization sanctioned by the United Nations. It was formed to combat the rise of bioterrorism after the collapse of Umbrella Pharmaceuticals. They have combated terrorism across the world, including China and Europe, and are highly regarded as bioterrorist police. The BSAA finally intervened in the Baker incident, and were the ones that saved Ethan, Mia, and I.
So is this Zoe that we're talking to? Or Zoe that's doing the reporting? That would make the most sense. But who knows?
Thanks to my attainment in the facility, I have a pretty good idea of who their members are. I was very persuasive when it came to asking about the organization and top secret documents. The topic I was most interested in was, of course, the Baker incident. I wanted to know the truth the BSAA was hiding. The hidden truth. Oh my gosh. What is it? Magazine Inspector. Secret meeting between the sheriff and international organization. One of the reports has unearthed evidence that a secret meeting happened between Dolby's sheriff, Coleridge, and an international organization known as Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, BSAA. Many have voiced their concerns around the legitimacy of the sheriff's statement that incident at the Baker estate was caused by a natural gas leak. The inspector suspects there might be more to the story, and the sheriff's office and the BSAA are covering something up. We reached out to the sheriff's office, but they refused to give a statement. Edgar McClintock. BSA Investigation Department final report on the Baker incident. Following details of the investigation into biological disaster in Dovey, Louisiana, also known as the Baker Incident, this document is for employees with B-class clearance and above. We have concluded that the Baker incident has caused accidental contamination from the prototype bioweapon known as Evelyn. The residents of the Baker household. Alright, my food's about here. So I gotta hurry up. The residents of the Baker household were contaminated by a mold-like pathogen, Mutamycete. Evelyn was capable of rapidly producing this mold, and it enabled her to control the infected, both mentally and physically. The Baker family were not the only victims. Evelyn manipulated the Bakers into kidnapping dozens of people. These victims were infected and mutated into monstrous creatures called molded. Evelyn was eventually created in a Munich research facility by an international crime syndicate, the Connections. BSAA dispatched a team to destroy Evelyn. The mission, however, was not successful, and Evelyn escaped. Evelyn was then transferred to America by the Connections via ship along with her caretaker, Mia Winters. However, Evelyn managed to escape during transport. She murdered most of the ship's crew, destroyed the ship. We believe that she then abandoned the vessel and had washed up on the bayou near the Baker residence. Aforementioned operation to eliminate Evelyn was BSAA's failing. We cannot deny that, as it resulted in Evelyn infecting innocent civilians. BSAA will continue to take responsibility should these events even come to light. As such, we advise that a cover story is fed to the media and the BSAA's involvement be kept quiet and reported. E-Series Mutamycete analysis report. Biological analysis report on the E-Series Mutamycete, henceforth referred as Mutamycete, covered from the Baker residence. The Mutamycete is similar characteristics to Cladosporium black mold, which has increasingly high reproductive properties. It acts like a parasite, infecting the cells creating DNA of its host. Furthermore, when it combines with other bacteria, it creates its own muscle tissue, brain, and nervous system. As such, an organism infected with them has transformed into a type of undead monster. End report. I'll be right back. Alright, so my food's here. Let's go ahead and let's finish reading this, and then, because we only have a few more pages to go, and then we'll call it quits. And then once that happens,
once we finish this, I'll take a break, eat, and we'll come right back and then get into the actual game. But in the meantime, back to reading.
Okay. Bioweapon report file. Human biological weapon constructed through the implantation of mitomycete into a human embryo has the ability to infect with a fungal network. The control host through the brain wave signals. Evelyn was driven by a natural instinct to create a family, and the infected victims she controlled were her surrogate family. However, due to an intact defect in her chromosomes, Evelyn's cells reproduced at an accelerated rate, causing her to age rapidly, then die. Why is that up there? Yeah. Okay. Alright. Let's see. Connections report. Connection is a crime syndicate with no base of operation. Their organization structure is unknown. However, we are aware that their actions on a global level. In recent years, they have become particularly active in Eastern Europe. Most of their activities appear to revolve around creation and selling of bioweapons. Evelyn was one of their products. Reliable sources have confirmed that a criminal organization was founded by Brandon Bailey. Bailey is a shrewd man and was once the right-hand man of Oswald E. Spencer, CEO and president of Umbrella. His current status and location unknown. Bailey and Spencer become estranged due to their different visions. Bailey used connections he made working as director of Umbrella African Research Center to branch off and found a crime syndicate. The organization's main goal appears to be simply commercial gain. Further investigations are in progress. End of report.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure that they linked this organization to Umbrella. So we know that. This guy worked with the director of Umbrella, and he worked in the African branch, which, if those who have played the other games know, that some stuff went down in the 5th game in Africa, where they found that parasite that infected, pretty much that small town, and then caused a lot of problems. So we know that for sure. So basically, this guy went from working with Umbrella to finding his own version of Umbrella, and now he's back to making even worse creations. Which, unprecedented, I know, but still. That's kind of cool. I'm a big Resident Evil fan. I've played 5, I've played a little bit of 6. We played 2 and 3 on the channel. I need to play 1 and 0. And then there's all the other spin-offs that are connected, but we haven't played them yet. We will. We'll get to them eventually, but for now.
According to BSAA's top secret documents, the Baker incident, as I know it, was just another statistical blip to be recorded. The fateful night when the tanker washed up in the bayou, Jack took that little girl from the shipwreck into our home. Then she turned everyone crazy and made us into monsters. BSAA knew this when they manipulated the media and covered up the whole thing. An easy thing to do for an organization that was direct backing the United Nations. They couldn't let anyone know it was them who let Evelyn, the cause of all this, escape. I continued to investigate and finally caught wind of Ethan and Mia's location. Where the Winters are. BSAA Investigation Department. Transcription interview with Ethan Winters. Audio begins. Shall we begin then? Please state your name and occupation. Ethan Winters. I'm assistant engineer. How many times do we have to do this? When are you going to let us go? Our interview until now has been necessary to conclude that if you had any other ulterior motives. Now we understand that you were just an innocent victim in this whole incident. So you're gonna let us go? Yes, but we have one condition. What's that? We would like you and your wife to remain under our supervision. In exchange, we'll provide you a new home, a new country. What are you saying? You want us to take on new identities? Wait, a new country? You want us to move to another country? To a lovely country in Eastern Europe, to be precise. Europe? You've got to be kidding. Why the heck would we? You both are witness to what happened. There's a certain criminal organization who's looking for you. We are doing this for your protection. Think of it more like witness protection, but all the way to Europe, without any say. You can forget everything you experienced here and start a new life. It's better for the both of you that way. There's no way you can forget everything that happened. Just look at this bright blue light real quick. I want to talk to Mia about this. Let me talk to Mia. Audio ends. BSA interview department. Transcription. Interview with Mia Winters. Audio begins. According to our examinations, you are mostly free of the mold now, Mia. Did you tell him about my past? No. As a sign of appreciation for your cooperation, BSAA has not divulged your involvement with the connections. I just want to return to a normal life with Ethan. Forget everything. Audio ends. Ethan and Mia are in Europe. I was ecstatic that I finally had a clue into their whereabouts. However, that was where the investigation hit a brick wall. BSAA's security is tight. And even with some new acquaintances helping me out, no one knew the Winters' exact location, which makes sense when you're considered an international crime syndicate is after them. 2 years passed, no progress. I ended up working as a rookie reporter for a small newspaper in Orleans. The Baker incident has all but vanished from people's minds. Then one day, a letter arrived at my tiny apartment. It was from none other than Mia Winters herself. He said, "Hey, how are you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? BSAA won't let us send any emails or letters, but I gave this directly to an employee to give to you, so it should be safe. Our location is still hidden. It's always wanted to tell you how thankful I am. Ethan and I would have died in the house if it wasn't for you." I think it's Zoe. It must have been hard to fight alone for so long. It's Zoe, so thank you. I can't tell you where we are, but we're safe and happy. I feel like we're finally settling down into our new life. The house BSA gave us is huge. I don't know what to do with it all. Oh, that reminds me. There's a reason I wanted to write for you. Ethan and I had a baby. I included the picture of her with this letter. I warn you, she's so cute. Oh my.
That is the cutest baby I have ever seen. Oh my god. Look at them chubby cheeks. Anyway.
I think it's
Zoe. It has to be Zoe. There's no other person. Because Zoe wasn't technically dead. She got a thing of the vaccine. And then Chris killed Lucas. Because he went down to finally take... Because in the DLC, Not a Hero, you went and got Lucas. So it has to be Zoe. Because we never found out what happened to Zoe. Other than that the security people took him away. And, like, Jack got a vaccine for her.
We named her Rosemary. Isn't it such a wonderful name? I hope you can come and see her someday. Ethan wants to see you too. I've learned all kinds of local dishes. I'm sure he'll like them. No need to reply. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Take care of yourself, okay? Sincerely, B. Winters. Letter from Mia and Ethan. Out of nowhere. And they had a daughter. I had almost given up on finding them. I couldn't hold back my tears. I'm glad that three of them are happy with their new life. Just as I went to close the mailbox, I spotted another envelope. It was aborted with a BSAA logo. Sender unknown. It contained the following. BSAA warning letter to Chris Redfield. Chris, we are growing concerned with your recent activity. According to recent reports, you have taken personal control of an elite unit, the Hound Wolf Squad, without permission. You've accessed a number of top secret documents, also without permission. What the heck are you doing? What are you and your squad doing in Eastern Europe? Who the F is this Miranda that keeps popping up in your correspondence? What's with the investigation into the Winters family? You've been very critical of the BSA since the Baker incident. You might be the one of the founding original 11, but I cannot let you continue to run around unchecked. So I repeat myself, what the heck are you doing, BSA? HQ investigations. There was one thing scribbled on the back of this. It's not over. This is everything I had on the Baker's incident. It's purely for my own reference. I don't intend to send it out to the general public. I will continue my investigation. Many have tried to get in my way, slow me down, but I'm not. I'm doing this for my family. I won't give up. I know that someday I'll be able to give Ethan and Mia the thanks directly. At least I pray I can. My name is Zoe Baker, a survivor of this tragedy. Baker Incident Report end.
Okay, I am very glad. I'm very glad that we got through all of that. However, I'm afraid, okay, so we've caught up with what's been going on between these 3 years. That, like, it's been 3 years since the Baker incident. We know that what Ethan and Mia are doing in Eastern Europe. And we kind of know what Chris is doing. Is he being controlled somehow by Mother Miranda? A lady that we've, met in the beginning? And also, it's apparently not over. I guess Evelyn was either not the only one, or she wasn't the source of the mold. Maybe we'll meet, like, the actual source. Maybe Evelyn is one of these weird creatures that showed up in Eastern Europe. But anyway, guys, that is going to, for this part. That's going to cut it for this part. Remember to follow us on Twitch, because we will be playing this game all weekend long. I'm very excited to play it. We're going to finish it this weekend. I'm going to knock it out of the park. So I'm going to go ahead and eat real quick, and then, I'll go ahead and eat. I got to take care of a few things. We'll be back about 5:30, and actually get into the actual game. Now that we've caught up and we know everything that's happened, we know Zoe's alive, we know Chris is investigating other files of other, like, biological weapons, so we know there's more than one. We know that there's a mysterious organization called the Connections that are responsible for the events of the 7th game, and that they are looking for Mia and, Ethan. So, we have a better understanding of what we are getting into. We don't have all the answers, but we have a rough idea of where we are from the events of the first game and what has happened. So, I'm glad we read that, and now we don't have to play catch up. So, hopefully you guys enjoyed this like short little video. It's only like 45 minutes long, but it's a nice like recap of the events and like kind of gives us a little bit of a tease before we dive into the actual game. So, I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. Remember to follow us on Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube where this is going to end up tomorrow, most of the parts should end up tomorrow. Remember to give us a like if you want more Resident Evil Village. I don't know why you wouldn't. I mean, this game has been like one of the games everyone's talking about. That's come out this year. But comment down below what other games you want me to play. Comment down below if you want me to play all the other Resident Evils. I've done Biohazard already on the channel and all its DLC. So, that's done. But we played 2, we played 3. I might play 4. I might wait for the remake. I could play 0. I could play all the others. But comment down below what other games you want me to play. Comment down below who's your favorite Resident Evil character. Share this video with your friends, family, watch back, hit that subscribe, turn on that bell, and I will see you in a little bit. Bye-bye.